Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. I want to show you just a comparison on weather temperatures here. This little graphic here comes from the regional weather, covers our area, showing the difference between the Ozarks and northern Alaska this morning. That was the temperature difference. So it would have been better off for you to go up and hang out in the Arctic Circle this morning than for you to be in the Ozarks, because it was just that much colder. Big day. A lot of people talking about a lot of different things, but all of it seems to be surrounding the fact that we have a new president. That's right, Donald Trump has been sworn in as president. So all the talk about whether or not he'd actually make it that far and whether things would happen doesn't mean anything anymore. He's now officially the president of the United States, and a lot of buzz is going on. A lot of buzz is going on the inauguration itself. There was some strange things going on. Not terribly big, but one being that when Donald Trump took the oath of office, he did not place his hand over the Bibles. A lot of people saying, well, they rushed it. But you can see in the video that Melania comes up and stands right next to him just as he's starting to recite the oath. So it looks like he could have just easily, put his hand over the Bible. But that didn't happen. And then there was this weird thing afterwards, the little after parties they have. Elon Musk, see that little hand gesture thing he did? A lot of people are, what in the world? What is this about? Because it looks like something else. Some people are saying it's because the guy's weird. A lot of people think he might have, Asperger's or something like that. Maybe that's all it is. Who knows? Also, apparently, moments after he took office, security forces at the border shut it down, made an announcement. There's a video out floating around telling everyone that's, at the border that if you're not legally, approved to be there, that you will be arrested and detained and deported and all that. There's also video of people on the Mexican side of the border in tears and crying because now they can't get across. I have no objections to that, but who knows what's going to happen with all that. Several other things. Joe Biden, just before he left office, he issued another pardon to all of his family members. I mean, some of these are like his siblings and stuff that, I don't know that it's even been talked about that they were guilty of any types of crimes, but apparently maybe they were. I don't know. He claims that he did it because he feels that Trump might try to attack him through his family and friends and people in his administration just to try to destroy them. But that's a pretty extreme thing to start issuing blanket pardons for crimes that no one is even aware of that some of these people have committed. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. Donald Trump has done some things already. There has been a few executive orders, but I suspect at some point when all the big celebrations kind of tone down, because, that goes on for quite a while, that he'll sit down this evening, tomorrow, in the middle of the night, who knows, and issue a bunch of, executive orders. We'll see what all happens, because there's been all kinds of speculation as to, what he's going to do executive orders on. I've heard 100 to 200, everything from legalizing marijuana to, all kinds of stuff. So we'll see. I'm also seeing people online talk about, well, it's time to get out there and start really training, start really, locking and loading and training. And these aren't comments from the far lefties. I've seen some of these comments from, kind of the more far right conservatives saying that the real battle is just ahead. That whether or not Trump is part of the big game, the big club or not, that the globalists, the far left, is not just going to sit by and do nothing. And the people, the far left people as some policies are going to start being enacted. I saw one of them. He was supposed to do an executive order that will basically kick out something like 15,000 people in the military for, unfit because of mental problems that claim that they're transgender. Things like that. Things like that could definitely cause some serious reactions from the far left. And who knows what all will happen. I know I've repeated this statement numerous times over the last few weeks, but I only do it because I think it is important to remember. And a lot of times we just need to be told several times. It's no different than children. Those of you that are parents, have been, have small children, young children, especially teenagers, in some point in your lifetime. How many times do you have to tell them to do something? How many times do you have to remind them to take the trash out? Not just that day, but like every day. And you're like, my goodness, it's been 5 years. That's been your job for 5 years. And I still have to remind you 3 times a week to take the trash out. That's not just a youth thing. That's a human thing. So, I think it's important to continually remind ourselves of things. And one of the things we need to be reminded of is just because it looks really good right now doesn't mean it actually is really good. And even if it is really good right now, does not mean that some outside force may try to stop it. And so it's not time to let your guard down by any means. And I know most of you already get that. Most of you I've seen in the comments and the emails you've sent to me, you already get it. You're not letting your guard down at all. In fact, you're using this as a time to get yourselves even more ready. And that's what I've advocated for. Right now, as far as the intensity of things kind of falling apart, it does seem to be cooling down, or has cooled down a little bit because of Trump getting elected, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. And use this time, to get things ready. This is that lull in the battle. And so it's time to kind of refresh, regroup, stock up, and figure out what you need to be getting yourself ready for, or getting yourself ready, all the things that you might need, the things that you may need to do. Because a lot of times when we think the end is happening right now, we push off plans and stuff because we're thinking, well, we don't have enough time to do this, and this. So let's just get ourselves as ready as we can with what we have. Now you have a little bit of time, maybe a little window of breathing room to kind of get those last minute things done. And I would strongly recommend that you do that, because whether or not the future, because of this presidency, is good or bad, in the sense of what Donald Trump and his people will do, the global movement towards this Luciferian technocratic beast system, great reset, whatever you want to call it, it's happening. And we have to continually be ready for that. That means that complete holistic readiness, not just beans and rice and bullets and stuff in your buckets. That means mentally getting yourself ready and getting yourself tuned into all the differences, that we're in a different world than we once were. Physically ready, your physical body, training, skills, knowledge. But then most importantly is that spiritual readiness. Because regardless of what's going on, I can tell you this with certainty, that the world is becoming a more wicked place. And we're getting closer and closer to the end every day. And so you need to be spiritually getting yourself ready. That means drawing closer to the Father. That means getting deeper and deeper into His Word and prayer. That means strengthening yourself in that sense, so that you're ready for the slings and the arrows that will be thrown at us. Because they will be. We're told that they will be. And so we have to keep getting ready. So, again, some of you may be celebrating today. Some of you may not. Either way, don't let this what's happening catch you off guard and cause you to relax too much. Keep getting yourselves ready, prepping, praying, planning, all of that stuff, because the world is getting crazier and getting worse, and there's going to be a pendulum swing back at some point with all of this, and we have to be prepared for it. Folks, get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.